The United States is known to invent breathtaking technologies that the world has never seen before. While some are used for everyday activities to make the lives of citizens easier, some technological innovations are also used as instruments of mass destruction. Recently, it was discovered that the US Navy has been doing some background research, and now they just admitted that they've created something so advanced it can't be stopped. What did the US Navy create? Would this lead to an uprising with other countries? Join us as we explore how the United States Navy admitted that it had created something so advanced that it couldn't be stopped. As a significant branch of the United States Armed Forces, the US Navy is charged with controlling and defending the country at sea and lending seaborne support to other US military services. It also maintains overall security wherever the United States' interests extend, as long as it's on the seas. In order to ensure efficiency in their duties at sea, the US Navy's ships are designed to combat any looming threat, including the ones that might arise in the coming decades. This is why the ships are equipped with several advanced technologies and survivability systems. As they keep upgrading their technology, newer warships are also built. And one of the new warships in the fleet is the USS Zumwalt. The USS Zumwalt is known as the biggest and most technologically advanced surface combatant to dominate the seas in the entire world. This warship is the lead ship equipped with next-generation multi-mission destroyers invented to solidify naval power on the seas. It comprises a state-of-the-art electrical propulsion system, stealth design, wave-piercing tumble-home hull, and the latest warfighting technology and weaponry installed inside it. The Zumwalt-class destroyer can perform a range of deterrence, sea control, command and control missions, and power projection while allowing the Navy to experiment with new systems and missions. This glorious ship has all these groundbreaking features and at the same time maintains its stealth, making the visually imposing ship difficult to spot, whether it's far out in the seas or close to the shore. The features installed in this war machine would allow the US Navy to meet maritime missions at sea and implement new technologies that would help meet emerging security environments. These new technologies are being tested for efficiency on other US warships, and one of them is a laser weapon that can destroy an aircraft in mid-flight. The US Navy has been inventing laser weapons and testing them in case there's a need to make necessary upgrades and tweaks. And as new warships are being created, some of these technologies have to be equipped for better defense, which is why the test was carried out. The test was carried out on a US Navy warship operating in the Gulf of Aden, and the warship was able to fire on a floating target with this high laser weapon. This test was an exhibition of the solid-state laser, the technology maturation laser weapons system demonstrator installed on the San Antonio-class amphibious transport dock USS Portland. It was tested to see if these mounted lasers could defend ships from small boats and unmanned vessels. Images and videos shown by the Navy Pacific Fleet depicted the amphibious transport dock ship executing a first system-level implementation of the high-energy class solid-state laser to put an aerial drone aircraft out of commission. The images show the laser emerging from the warship's deck. Short video clips of the aftermath were also taken, showing what appears to be the drone burning. When the Navy Pacific Fleet posted the clips, the exact location of where the test was carried out wasn't included in the post. The only thing it indicated was that the test occurred in the Pacific on May 16th. The weapon's power was not disclosed either, but references to a 2018 report from the International Institute for Strategic Studies postulated that it's likely to be a 150 kilowatt laser. Conducting advanced sea tests against UAVs and small crafts was a giant leap in technological innovations, as it will help the US Navy and armed forces as a whole to obtain excellent information about the capabilities of the solid-state laser weapons system demonstrator against potential threats. Captain Kari Sanders, the commanding officer of Portland, where the laser weapon was tested, also agreed to this as he made a similar statement. He continued in his statement, "With this new advanced capability, we are redefining war at sea for the Navy." The Navy wants to implement these lasers, which it also refers to as directed energy weapons, because the laser technology can serve as effective defenses against drones or small armed boats. This was addressed in the statement from the Navy Pacific Fleet. saying the development and implementation of directed energy weapons like the LWSD gives effective warfighter benefits and provides the commander with increased decision space and response preferences. Laser tests like these are not just happening for the first time, as a live-fire exercise of a 30-kilowatt laser weapon was carried out earlier in 2017 aboard the amphibious transport ship USS Ponce, which is located in the Persian Gulf. Lieutenant Cale Hughes, a laser weapons system officer at the time, explained how they work. Hughes describes it as a machine that throws a massive volume of photons at an incoming object. He said in a statement, "We don't worry about wind, we don't worry about range, we don't worry about anything else. We're able to engage the targets at the speed of light." However, this technology would seem much more beneficial to warships like the USS Portland, situated in the Gulf of Aden. This is because vessels in this area and surrounding waters encounter growing threats from not only manned watercraft but also unmanned systems. One such example of the threats around this area is the drone boats filled with explosives used by Iranian-backed Houthi rebels. Vessels in this area are also prone to facing aerial threats from flying drones. Before the high-energy laser weapon system on the USS Portland was tested recently, it was first tested in May 2020 when it was used successfully against an unmanned aerial vehicle while sailing in the Pacific. The laser weapon system demonstrator equipped on the USS Portland is a more effective follow-on system constructed based on observations the Navy obtained from testing the 30-kilowatt laser weapon system aboard the USS Ponce in the 5th Fleet Area of Responsibility. However, this laser weapon system and laser weapon system demonstrator are not the only directed energy technologies the United States Navy has been looking to implement as it modernizes its combat systems. The Sea Service has also been making plans towards the high-energy laser integrated optical dazzler and surveillance, also known as the Helio system. It is a less powerful laser weapon system that could equip the Navy's Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. Also, this kind of work is not only limited to the Navy. The development and implementation of laser weapon systems, much like developing hypersonic missiles, has become a center of attraction for warfighting units in all military sectors, as they divert their attention to great power competition and the probability of a high-intensity conflict. Subsequently, more prototypes are being manufactured, but the one produced by Lockheed Martin is still regarded as the most powerful. Lockheed Martin has steadily delivered weapons and military-grade equipment to the Department of Defense, but their recent delivery of the most potent combat laser ever made takes the cake. This has been a wish of the United States military, as all sectors of the country's armed forces have been striving to develop machinery that would block all aerial threats, like mortars, rockets, drones, and missiles. And now the new Lockheed Martin combat laser system has granted their wishes, having been the most powerful of all military-grade lasers seen to date. Modern warfare has brought about different new and emerging threats, several of which need a completely different approach to defense. The increase of modern war machines, such as off-the-shelf drones to cutting-edge hypersonic missiles, has ushered in a new era. These new technologies in turn make the skies very deadly and cause the world's militaries to develop new technologies and several other intelligent ways to counter these increasingly effective tactics. A wonderful example of this technology can be found in Israel. The Middle Eastern nation is home to an Iron Dome rocket system, a technology that protects the country from airborne threats. Israel has not stopped there, however, as the nation has started testing and implementing an anti-drone, anti-missile laser system called the Iron Beam. The case is also similar to the United States, as the Air Force and Navy are currently testing these types of systems, although the timeline for actual field deployment has not been slated. A large majority of these systems vary from approximately 60 kilowatts of power, which can render drones up to Class 3 useless, even though Class 3 drones are about 1,300 pounds. The Iron Beam system in its case brags an even more substantial 100 kilowatts of overall power that can counter enemy rockets and mortars in the sky and knock them down. With this newly delivered system, Lockheed Martin has broken ground in performance levels, ensuring a new era in laser defense. This new era, spearheaded by Lockheed Martin, is the new 300 kilowatt laser system built by the aerospace company. The new Lockheed Martin invention uses a Star Wars Death Star approach to launch its ultra-high-powered light beam. Basically, the laser employs a series of smaller individual lasers broken into their component wavelengths and then gathers those different beams into one huge and powerful beam of missile-blasting light. According to the aerospace company, this spectral beam combined high-energy laser architecture technology is at the heart of Lockheed's capability to deliver such a powerful system. Lockheed Martin increased the power and efficiency and reduced the weight and volume of continuous wave high-energy lasers, which reduces risk for future fielding efforts of high-power laser weapon systems, said Rick Cordaro, Vice President of Lockheed Martin Advanced Product Solutions, in a statement from the defense manufacturing company. The same statement also notes that this laser system is not the only high-powered combat laser weapon the company has delivered to date. This aerospace company also took pride in its statement when it noted that the contractor made a speedy delivery ahead of the schedule that the Department of Defense first set when they were given the go-ahead to begin work on the project in 2019. When the aerospace company was asked how the Department of Defense could utilize this new laser technology to its maximum potential, a release from Lockheed Martin Corporation stated, "This 300 kilowatt class laser is ready to integrate with the Department of Defense demonstration efforts, including the U.S. Army's Indirect Fires Protection Capability High-Energy Laser Demonstrator Laser Weapon System." Just like previous laser systems are being tested and assessed by the United States Armed Forces, there is no actual period or date for field deployment. Instead, the systems will first go through a strict evaluation period by the U.S. Army. After that, they will possibly find their way to the field and, in all their glory, would be used by the troops. The HELSI laser will support demonstration efforts with the Army's IFPC-HEL. The company explains of the projected testing timeline, which is scheduled for laboratory and field testing this year. With this huge power, the new Lockheed Martin 300 kilowatt laser is likely formidable enough to target even the most significant missile systems, including hypersonic missiles. Given the frequent advancements in such systems by militaries worldwide, it would only be a matter of time before lasers of this unique power level begin to show up on the 21st century battlefield. When they do show up, do you think this technology will remain undefeated? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.